If you're a towing business and you want to consistently generate phone calls from Google Ads, then this video is for you. I'll break down what should be in place to increase your call volume and what factors can determine whether reaching 10 or more phone calls per day is realistic in your market. So let's get started. So guys, we're in our Google Ads dashboard, and if you're a towing business, in this video I'm going to talk about how you can get 10 plus phone calls with Google Ads for your towing business. And this is one of our example account, and I want to show some stats from this account, but you can have similar numbers in your account as well if you follow the strategies that I'm going to talk about in this video. So as you can see, for example, this is 1 day data, and we've generated around 22 phone calls, and I'm not considering each and every phone call as a conversion, and we have around 12 conversions. If we would consider each and every phone call as a conversion, which some people might talk about, they've generated this many phone calls, which I don't think is not a true statistics. The true statistics should be the number of conversions, which means unique number of conversions should be considered, because you might have repeat phone calls, you might have missed phone calls, you might have phone calls less than 5 seconds, less than 10 seconds, which might not be higher quality. But at least the number of conversions can be better way of tracking conversions rather than calculating each and every phone call. If we would calculate each and every phone call, the numbers would be, so the cost per phone call in that case would be around $8.91. But again, that's not a true statistics. The better way would be to calculate phone calls based on the number of conversions. So based on the number of conversions, our cost per conversion is around $16. So that's just 1 day. If you're gonna see the previous day, for example, it was around 21 phone calls and 15 conversions, and the cost per conversion was around $14. I'm showing you the daily statistics here. I could have shown you the last 30 days, the last 60 days, but today's topic is how to generate 10 plus phone calls for your towing business with Google Ads. So if you're gonna see the previous day, again, it was 14 phone calls and 7 conversions. Here I'm trying to get higher quality conversions compared to the number of phone calls. And the previous day, 22 phone calls, 15 conversions, and you can see other statistics as well. So how you can get 10 plus phone calls per day for your towing business with Google Ads. Let's get started. A quick reminder, I've generated thousands of phone calls using Google Ads. If you want to copy my exact Google Ads campaign structure to generate phone calls, I'm giving it away for free. You can use it as a blueprint or copy it into your own account. Link is in the description below. First of all, I would suggest you to research your local market. So in your local market, certain keywords might perform better than the other. Your costs in your local market might be different than other cities or other states. And also your target location should have enough search volume. So let's see that example. So we're in the Google Ads dashboard. We're going to go to tools under planning. We're going to go to keyword planner and click on discover new keywords. And from here, we're going to enter our target keyword, which is, let's say we're going to just say towing, and that one keyword should be enough to generate other keyword ideas, and that's why one keyword for us is enough. As you can see, we have 401 keyword ideas available, and this is targeting United States. And if we're going to choose a specific location, here as an example, we're going to choose Tampa, Florida, but you can choose your own city or specific target location, and it should have enough search volume. Here, as you can see, this specific target location has 4 million plus population, which should be enough to generate some search volume for different target keywords. As you can see, you can easily generate search volume from your target keywords, and you can see there are cost range, which we can talk about as well. So you need to make research about your target location and the types of keywords you want to target. And again, you should have enough search volume in your target location if you serve in a smaller location, for example. Because some towing businesses might serve in a small location and they might not have enough search volume. Or the keywords they're targeting might not have average monthly search volume. As you can see from here, you can find those kind of keywords and add them as your target keywords. And the next thing is relevant to the previous example. Once you have gone through the keywords and you have enough search volume in a target location for your select keywords, you can go through the cost of the keywords as well, like an average cost per click in your location. So here, for example, if you're going to choose certain high intent keywords such as tow truck near me, towing company near me, tow service near me, as you can see, they're top of page with low ranges starting from somewhere around $4.50, $5. So if you would bid, let's say $5, $5.50, we should be eligible to participate in the Google Ads auction, and to receive some number of impressions and clicks. So you should go through the keywords and find the costs of those keywords in your target location. And based on that, you can set your expectations of how many phone calls you can get. So let's say you have chosen 30 plus, 40 plus, 50 plus keywords, if not more, then the next step would be setting a realistic daily budget that can generate you 10 plus phone calls per day. So here our starting bid range was around $5.50. So it might be a little bit less, a little bit more, but in certain locations that can be higher, let's say $7, $9, or let's say sometimes 10 plus dollars. And depending on that, you can set your daily budget. So to receive one phone call, sometimes one click would be enough. But sometimes to receive one phone call, you might need to get 3-4 clicks. So that's why to receive 10 phone calls, you should at least be getting 10 clicks. And as I told, sometimes it might take 2-3 clicks and sometimes even more than 4 clicks. So if you're going to calculate that, you can start with, let's say, at least 10 clicks with $5.50 with this location would be around $55 per day. But I would not say $55 per day is enough for this location. That would be a definitely low budget to receive 10 plus phone calls, because in this location, after running it for some time, $5.50 cost per click might not be enough, and you may need to increase the cost per click numbers up to $8 or $9. And then your daily budget might go up to $100. Or sometimes it might take more than 2 to 3 clicks to generate one phone call on average. And that means you might spend around $200 and $250 to generate 10 plus phone calls. Why the numbers can be different? Because it can depend on your target location, and each specific location might have different markets, and based on your optimizations and based on your conversion rate, the numbers can be different. For example, for this account, per day we're spending around $248 and generated 15 conversions or 22 phone calls. And on average, cost per phone call was, let's say, around $11.29. But the cost per conversion was around $16.56. But in your location, that might be a little bit expensive because your average CPC might be higher. So if this number goes higher, even if you have the same conversion rate as this account, you might have higher cost per phone call. Or let's say in your location, the average CPC might be cheaper and you might receive even cheaper phone calls. But I run towing campaigns in multiple states of the United States, and the numbers can be close to $7, $8, $9, and sometimes $10 range. And certain days, even it can go way higher than $10. But on average, it can stay around $9, $10 range. And you can expect these kind of numbers. And it can also depend on your conversion rate and the quality of your campaign. So to receive 10 plus phone calls per day, depending on your campaign quality, you might need to spend around $100 and $150 per day, up to, let's say, $200 and $250 plus dollars per day. Why the numbers can be different? Because the average CPC might be different in different cities and different states, and also the competition might be different in different locations. And most importantly, your campaign quality can decide whether you can turn those clicks you're getting from Google Ads into phone calls. So the next thing on our list, let's say if you have been running Google Ads, you should try to increase the number of phone calls with the same budget. So let's say you're already getting phone calls like 3 to 5 phone calls, and you want to increase that to 10 phone calls, 10 plus phone calls. But of course, you should be setting realistic daily budget. I would not expect you to get 10 plus phone calls with $50 daily budget. Sometimes you might get it, but most of the days you might not get 10 plus phone calls with unrealistic budget. So first of all, try to set your realistic budget, and then you can work on getting even more phone calls with the same budget. So how you can do that? You can work on your campaign quality. So we have, let's say, 30 plus or 50 plus keywords, and you can target them based on the keyword nature. For example, here we're just targeting tow truck near me, towing near me, which are just generic towing keywords. And you can also create several ad groups or several campaigns depending on the types of services you offer. For example, for roadside assistance service, you can create another ad group. And of course, you shouldn't be targeting these kind of keywords, AAA roadside assistance. But if there is a keyword just using roadside assistance near me, 24/7 roadside assistance, you can create a separate campaign or separate ad group if you want. And there can be multiple keywords which you can create separate ad groups by their intent. For example, again, this tow truck near me, towing near me can be just a generic types of keywords. And you might have, let's say, 24/7 tow truck services. As you can see here, you can create other types of ad groups using these kind of keywords. And let's say you might have car lockout service. You can create ad groups or campaigns using that service as well. And overall, the quality of your campaigns and the optimizations you do with those campaigns can decide whether you can get more phone calls with the same budget. And if you can improve the conversion rate without increasing the budget, it can bring you more phone calls. Let's say you are receiving 5-6 phone calls per day, and if you can increase your conversion rate by 50%, let's say from 20% to 30%, that'll be a 50% increase. So from 5 phone calls, that'll be around 2 more phone calls per day. So better way would be just to increase your conversion rate without increasing your budget. So here, let's say 50% increase of conversion rate for that campaign would be 1 more conversion. Or overall, that would be for that day, we generated 15 conversions. And if you would increase that number to 50% more, that means we would generate at least 7 more conversions without increasing the ad spend. So working on your campaign quality and overall account structure would help you to generate more phone calls with Google Ads. And the next thing on our list, to generate more phone calls with Google Ads, you should consistently analyze traffic quality and phone call quality. And this can be applicable for towing businesses, regardless of the number of phone calls you want to receive per day, because that can help you to block some irrelevant traffic. So you can go to the search terms report and find the keywords which might not be relevant to your business, and you should regularly analyze them and block irrelevant services or company names that might be showing up in your search terms report, and you can add them so that in the future you may not get those exact search terms in your search terms report. So that was about traffic quality. And you can also work on the call quality as well. If you can listen to your call recordings, you might find certain patterns. People are looking for different things than your business offers. They might be looking for irrelevant services, or they might be looking for some competitor company names. And there might be certain groups of keywords or ad groups or campaigns which are consistently generating those kind of lower quality, unprofitable phone calls. And by analyzing your phone calls, it can help you to improve the quality of the phone calls in the future and allocate your budget more efficiently. And sometimes those phone calls can also be profitable and might be generating high quality phone calls as well. And overall, with those target keywords, you might be making profit. So having low quality phone calls from certain keywords doesn't always mean they're unprofitable. You need to look at the bigger picture and make sure that if they're unprofitable, they shouldn't be bringing you high quality phone calls, and you can safely pause them or limit those keywords search volume. Otherwise, if certain keywords are bringing low quality phone calls, they might also be bringing higher quality phone calls. And in the bigger picture, you might be making profit with them. And you can carefully analyze that and optimize your campaigns accordingly. And the next thing on our list, you should adapt and make changes if the market conditions change. For example, in different accounts I manage, there might be different market conditions. There might be sometimes different campaign types can perform better, or sometimes there might be seasonality changes. And let's say we might be generating a lot of phone calls, and sometimes the number of phone calls can go down, and you need to make changes accordingly. Maybe there is something wrong with your targeting, the structure of your campaigns, or maybe the type of campaign is wrong, or maybe you need to use different types of campaigns as well. And that can happen if the market conditions change, or if there are any changes in the Google Ads platform itself. And in the towing industry, results can be different as well, and you need to make changes and optimize your campaigns according to the market conditions as well, because sometimes, as I told, the numbers can unexpectedly go down, and you need to adapt those market conditions. And the next thing on our list, you should build your campaigns specifically to generate phone calls. So from creating your campaigns until you launch your campaigns, and maybe you are creating your assets, you're adding different asset types, you're building your landing page, an overall account structure and campaign structure should be built in a way that it should serve you to generate as many phone calls as possible. And it shouldn't be built in a way that, let's say you have learned it from some guy who is just doing a generic campaign. And that generic campaign can be used for e-commerce, for education, software, and it can also be applicable for towing business as well. Rather than building those kind of generic campaigns, I would suggest you to build campaigns specifically for generating phone calls. And with that way, overall account structure, as I told, from creating your campaigns until you launch your campaigns and creating your assets and building your landing page, those things should be created with the goal of to generate as many phone calls as possible for your towing business. And the next thing in our list, you can optimize your targeting. So let's say we're running at different times of the day, and specifically with this account, we're running 24/7. But in your case, that might be different. So let's say you can analyze your times of the day where you received a lot of conversions. And of course, I wouldn't be analyzing for 1 day data. If I would analyze this, I would analyze this for the last, let's say, 90 days, 120 days. The longer the time range, the better it can be, and the data can be more reliable and accurate, and you can make your decisions based on those data. So you can focus on the times of the day where you're receiving a lot of phone calls, and you can allocate more of your budget or run your campaigns during those times only. And another way would be also running it in different locations. Let's say you're running your ads in certain locations, certain zip codes, in certain cities, and certain cities might be more profitable than other cities, or certain zip codes might be more profitable. So you can focus more on those locations and limit your campaign ad spend for the locations which are not profitable or wasting your ad budget but not generating enough results. And that way you can allocate your budget more efficiently. So these are some of the targeting methods that can be used with Google Ads. And overall, if you can apply the things that I've shared with you in this video correctly, you can generate 10 plus phone calls with Google Ads for your towing business. And again, guys, if you want to copy the type of campaign structure that I use for towing businesses, you can click the link in the description below. Or if you guys want my help to generate phone calls for your towing business using Google Ads, you can also apply to work with me, and we can see whether we can work together. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching this video, and see you guys in my other videos.